Hello Carpers, welcome to episode 31 of the Carp Hunt. Right then guys, so you're joining me this session down on Forest Ponds on the bottom lake, and I've got 24 hours ahead of me. Managed to winkle out a nice midweek session. The missus is off work, so yeah, I got in touch with Paul, the owner, and yeah, he's confirmed there's only one person down on the bottom lake, so yeah, I took full advantage of that, jump on for a 24-hour session. We're on 3 o'clock on the afternoon now. I've just got all 3 rods out on spots out there. Sort of, there's one that I know about. There's 2 real spots that I know about out there. There's like a tree to the right hand side, and then the reed spot where I was fishing, where I was catching on the last episode where we was down on this bottom lake. But I'm the next swim along this time. Last time I was at the very top end swim. I'm the next one too, like this time, because like there's a tree in the middle, and yeah, I haven't fished that for a while. That's where Lee had that little fully scale from as well on the last session, the competition winner that I had down here fishing with me. So yeah, I've got one rod at that tree, one rod in straight out in front in the middle towards the reed, just about 3 foot away, and then same again with the left hand rod. There's like a nice little firm spot. Don't know whether it's still gravel or whatever, but it's just a hard spot. It's silty either side and a nice little hard channel that's running through there. And yeah, like I say, last session that produced me 2 fish in very difficult circumstances last time as well. You know, there was the problem with the little fish, still is that problem. He's put some pike in here now, so I think it was about 2 weeks ago there was a few pike that went in here, and they don't seem as much of a nuisance as they was being on our previous session. The lad down the bottom end in the car park, he's been on 24 hours so far, and they haven't really caused him any problems, so I'm still going to stick with the big baits approach like I did on the last session here. You know, they caught me a few carp anyway, so if I can deter them smaller fish and hopefully pick up the bigger fish, then you know, we'll stick with that and give it a go. So yeah, it's just the 2 22mm bottom baits that I'm going to be using this session again. And all I'm doing, I'm not putting no freebies out. I'm not going around there and loading in a load of bait. You know, I've only got a 24-hour session in front of me, so don't want a crap load of bait out there. Just all I'm doing is a 5 bait stringer. That's it, 5 22mm baits on a stringer, onto the hook link, and yeah, straight out there. So there's just something there just to get them picking a little bit. You know, I've done that. I've put them into basically a PVA mesh as well and pulled it really tight. So once that mesh expands and it melts off, it normally does it with a little bit of an explosion as such, and the boilies tend to pop out like that and just scatter around a bit. They're not all just going to lie there nice and flat next to it. They should hopefully burst out kind of thing out of the PVA mesh. So yeah, there should be a few baits just scattered around my hook bait, which hopefully that would be just enough just to grab a quick bite of any fish moving over the top of that. So yeah, we'll give that a go this session and see how we get on. I'm still chasing that 30th in this water as well, so hopefully, oh, sound like a big fish just down to the boat there then. Ooh, come on baby. But yeah, hopefully I can nick a 30 this session. Weather's looking spot on for it, a little bit humid. There was a bit of rain this morning and through the night last night, which I thought I'd get today and not, you know, with how the water was the last session. It was it was very murky still. I thought it was going to be a bit of the same scenario with all that rain that we just had, but it's not as bad. It is starting to clear now as well. It's not gin clear. It does go really gin clear in the winter, this water does here, but yeah, it is starting to slowly clear up now. And yeah, normally that switches the fish on a little bit better here as well. So yeah, we'll see how the session goes anyway, guys. I'll keep you updated with anything and everything carpy that happens. So until then, tight lines. Right, carpers, so just thought I'd give you all a quick update. We are now coming up to 7 o'clock. I've just had a coot on the right hand rod, picked me up. I thought it was actually hooked for a minute because it kept moving around, but I think it was just trying to hold on to that boilie. He must absolutely love the smell and the taste of that one. He didn't want to let it go, but yeah, thank God it weren't hooked. So yeah, I've just had to redo that one. That was the right hand rod over towards the tree. But other than that, rod wise there's not really been much going on. There's quite a fair few fish about and they are spread all over the lake as well, and like I said, the weather is it just looks spot on for it. The temperatures have come down a bit, there's a nice cool breeze, still a little bit overcast. Sun peeked its head out for a bit earlier as well, and there was actually a few fish up on the top towards my left, you know, weren't interested in anything, they were just having a little cruise around. So I think as this light's starting to drop down now through this evening, hopefully we might nick one through the night. But yeah, that's about all I've got to report for now, guys. Like I say, it's a little bit slow. I always knew it was going to be. We've only been fishing for 4 hours kind of thing, so you know, I weren't expecting really anything to happen straight away. I normally prefer to do 48s and 72s, have that 24 hour just to fill your way into the session, and then yeah, normally, you know, you can build up a swim a little bit and things like that, but yeah, it's just one of them. I've only got 24 hours on my hand in this session, so. But I'm feeling quite confident. I shouldn't be, because every time I do feel confident and everything's looking spot on, it doesn't happen. So maybe I should start feeling a bit more negative and then it might happen for me then. But yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway, guys. I am going to get the kettle on in a minute and have a coffee. Keep my eyes on this water. Hopefully I'll see you in the night with the fish. If not, I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. Carpers. We're currently on 7 o'clock in the morning. Been up for about an hour and a half now, and yeah, I was just standing just in the swim next to me, just watching the water for a bit, and I caught some out the corner of my eye. Let me know, there's about a group of 3 or 4 fish just milling around on the surface up there. Seem to be taking off the odd little fly or something that's on the surface as well, but it's a bit mad with the conditions we've got at the minute. You know, it's very overcast. It's quite cold this morning as well. I woke up, I put my hoodie on this morning, it's that cold. And yeah, they're it's about 10 foot of water where they are at the minute as well, and yeah, they're just milling around on the top of the surface. Oh, big cormorant as well, just flying by. Get out of it, mates. But yeah, so yeah, there's a little group of fish there, having just a little mill around really. They ain't really doing too much, but they seem to be taking off the odd fly every now and again off the surface, or whatever's hatched there or something like that anyway. But yeah, on the fishing side of it, it's been quiet, very quiet last night, not even a bleep. You know, I could hear fish crashing around and boshing around, mainly down the other end. It's quite in the distance that I could hear the crashing. So that lad, he's going to be away about 9 o'clock this morning, 9:30. So I'm contemplating just having him move down there for the last few hours of the day today. Yeah, I'm only going to be fishing till about 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, so try and maximise my time. I might move into that swim. He had fish all over him last night. There's fish boshing everywhere down there last night. You know, he had a couple of chances as well. I think he lost one the first night. Yeah, it does seem like most of the activity has been down in that swim. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. For now, I'm gonna have a coffee. You never know, still got that morning bite time, so hopefully I can nick on this morning. but like I say, if not, probably we'll try and make a move down into the car park swim and yeah, see if we can winkle one out of that swim in the last few hours of the day, hopefully. We shall see. But yeah, until then guys, speak to you soon. Tight lines. Right then carpers, so yeah, just a quick update for you. We're currently on 10 AM now. I have had the move, I've come down into the car park swim. The lad that was here before me is now shot off, so yeah, jumped into this swim. You know, this swim's had the most activity over the last day or so. No, since he came on here Monday, we're now on Wednesday, he's done a 48 hour. He had 2 takes, sadly he lost both of them runs. But yeah, there's been a lot of fish action in this swim, so I've had to make that move. You know, there's nothing really much going on at the top end, so I've got about 6 hours left of my session. So hopefully we can nick one out for coming down into this bottom end. Well, as I say, yeah, the bottom in the car park swim. It's meant to be quite nice now. The clouds have lifted away, it's getting blue skies, it's clearing up a bit, and this is the sort of shallower part of the lake. You know, there's some really nice overhanging trees, what I spoke about before, some really nice margin spots. So hopefully the fish are going to push around them spots today, and fingers crossed you can pick one up. But yeah, only time will tell. But for now, I'm going to keep my eyes on this water. Hopefully nick a fish or two. But yeah, we shall see. Guys, just thought I'd give you a quick update what's been going on so far today. We're currently on 1:30 in the afternoon, and yeah, it has been very quiet literally up until the last 15 minutes. There's been a couple of shows now around some of the areas where I'm fishing, but one of them literally, there's a tree just over up to the back here, up in that area there's a tree up there. And yeah, I've got one just fishing just off to the left hand side of that, and a fish just nutted straight out over it. And I even had there was a little twitch on the line as well, so whether it's spooked off of that line, and then I'm not too sure what's happened there, but yeah, there's fish in the area, so hopefully we can nick one today. But I'm really got everything crossed and praying for one of these fish to trip up. Like I say though, with the bait wise, you know, I'd normally be fishing little wafters or little 12mm pop-ups on there, you know, to try and trick these big old wary carp into picking up the bait. When you're having to use 2 clunking donkey choker 22mm, you know, I've got 2 of them down on the bottom. I've caught fish off of them on here, but I'm not that confident with using it, you know. I just think it's a bit more blatant, and the weight of that as well when the hook, when the fish is sucking that in, you know, it is quite a fair bit of weight there as well. But like I say, it has worked for me down here. Caught a nice fish, well, a couple of nice fish on it as well, so it still could work today as well. And like I say, there's a few fish milling around now down in the area, and I have seen a few signs to go on now in these last 15 minutes. Been hounded a little bit by the coots on the one spot, which is to my right of the swim. There's some overhanging trees and there's a nice little spotting under there. Back in one of the other episodes, Sean come down into this swim with me, and we found that little spot, and he fished under that tree there, and he ended up catching, I think it was a 31.5 pounder off of there. So yeah, I had one under there, but yeah, the coots were just playing havoc with it. Every 2 minutes so I was getting picked up, beep, 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 every 2 minutes for about half an hour, and I'd just had enough, so I've had to bring that one out. And I've come off the front of them trees now, but right towards the far end of them. There's a nice little point there, because it's all touching the water a bit there, so it's stopping the coots and that from diving on it a little bit, because they can't properly get in there to properly have a dive. So yeah, hopefully that one will sit there all right now. I did have one over towards the left hand side on the spit as well, which was that one. It's been moved about quite a bit so far this morning and for up to early afternoon. But yeah, there's a nice little spot there. It's only about 2.5 foot deep, but I've had a few fish off there in the past when the weather's been the same sort of conditions, you know, humid, light levels are very bright, you know, because the sun's out really bright on the water. And yeah, I've had a couple of runs off of that before, and well, I've landed a few fish off there, but again, the coots were decimating it, and then the ducks turned up on it as well. So That's when I moved it then over to the far right hand side along that overhanging trees, but all the way to the far point of it. But yeah, the other rod, the third one, that's just fishing straight out in front of me. There's like an overhanging tree, and aiming over towards that, but just to the right of it, you know, there's a nice little open water spot that I've found there on Ash, the lad who normally fishes in this swim as well, the one that was here before. I had his deeper out last time we was down here, and he's found a nice spot in the open, and I found a nice one in the open as well. So yeah, he's caught quite a few off of his open water spot, and I had 2 last time off my open water spot as well. So yeah, so hopefully this session I can manage to nick one off of there as well. You know, I've gave it a cast out, found the spot, 'cause, you know, he's really silty around there. You don't feel the drop down, but then you will when you find the spot. It's getting a nice response on the tip. You know, I'm getting a good drop on it. So yeah, it's only a cast, 2 casts, and I can find that in the clip, and then yeah, straight back out. But hopefully we'll only need that one chance anyway. But we shall see. For now, guys, I'm going to shut up waffling, keep my eyes on this water just to see if there's any other signs for me to go on, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon with a fish. Right, carpers, so I just thought I'd give you a quick look at the rig I've been using this session. So it's nothing special, you know, it's nothing we all haven't seen before, but yeah, I just wanted to show you, just because of the fact of basically using the double 22 millers and the way I'm deciding to fish that. So it's on a micro bait swivel. And then what I'm using is a D-rig looper liner on there, which this is all pulse fishing tackle components as well. And yeah, so I like to just put the micro swivel straight onto the D-rig looper liner there. And what that gives you is just that bit of separation then between the hook, because I'm using such big baits on there. You know, it's a nice bit of gap between the point of the hook, well, between the bend in the shank on the hook, and then obviously the 222mm bottom baits, and it's a size 4 hook as well. Because of the diameter of that bait, I wanted to use a nice big strong hook, you know. And these hooks, they're called the Snag X range from Pulse Fishing Tackle, and yeah, they're razor sharp, nice big strong hooks as well. So you know, they're going to deal with anything that's going to catch in the lake. So yeah, that's kind of like the way I've been fishing in this session. And it's just some soft coated hook link as well, £25 again, breaking strain from Pulse Fishing Tackle. And these were what was doing the trick on the last session as well when I was here and I had the 2 fish. I have now just switched over one of the rigs, it's just in the open water spot, over to just D-rig loop liner again, but it's just got a bait screw on there instead of the swivel. These are just bait flossed on with the bait floss cap, you know, just to burn it down onto. You do a couple of ties on there and then burn it down onto that. Yeah, the rig that I've just put out there now, just for the last few hours of the session, just to see if I can nick a fish using the way I used to do it, basically using Wicked White from Mad Baits pop-ups, just small 12 millers. And what I find with them, with a size 4 hook, the D-rig loop liner and a bait swivel, is the hook will just sit. So if that's the bottom there, it just sits just so it's just floating just up off the tip under the weight of the hook, you know, the pop up. It's not buoyant enough to lift that hook right up off the deck, and you don't have to shot it. It's just on its own weight, so it's really critically balanced. And yeah, that's done me really well on this lake. I've had quite a lot of fish out of it. So even though there's the issue with the small fish, you know, these are coming in clean as well. They're not being sucked at, they're not being pecked at by these small fish at the minute. So yeah, I thought for the last few hours I'm going to give the Old Faithful a go, see if I can nick one out of that open spot on that. But yeah, that's the rig that's been doing the damage on the last session. It hasn't done any damage sadly on this session, but yeah, that's been the rig of choice purely because of these small fish. But yeah, hopefully this little tactic change for this last couple of hours will hopefully produce a fish. Otherwise we're staring a blank in the face. But hey ho, can't catch all the time, can we? That's why it's called fishing and not catching. But hey, we're still in the game and there's still a chance of a fish. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully I'll see you soon with a fish. Right then, carpers, so that's me all packed away now. We've come to the end of this session, sadly. Just over 24 hours, and yeah, unfortunately no fish on the bank this time. But like I say, you know, you can't win them all. We ain't gonna go out there and catch every single session. And yeah, Like, I'm always trying to show and come across as just real world fishing, you know. I have a limited amount of time really, so sometimes some weeks that I can spend on the bank, so it is just trying to make the most of them sessions. And yeah, as I'm filming, you know, the blanks are going to be coming up just as much as the captures as well, to keep it real world fishing for you guys. But yeah, it's a shame there weren't fish on the bank this session. There was fish everywhere all over the lake, you know, crashing out everywhere. They just didn't seem really that up for it. To be fair, I should have switched over to the zigs today. I should have gave them a go, but yeah, I think I was a bit lazy today. I didn't attempt it, but really I should have. But yeah, so, you know, there's always next time, and yeah, we will be back out on the bank again soon. As always, guys, as well, if you like what you're watching, give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications as well, so you can stay up to date with anything and everything that's going on the channel. So until next time, guys, tight lines.